Hey everyone, it's John, your Indian Cine-MANIAC, with another 10ish-minute review. Now we're just pumping these out now, right? The big show just came out. We did Piku. You got to check that out. I love that movie, by the way. Amitabh Bachchan, Big B, you guys incredible. And Irfan Khan. What a shame he's not around anymore. Anyway, listen, I'm pumping these out again after a little hiatus, so that's got to get you to subscribe, hit the notification button, smash that like button, and please share the hell out of this, okay? Listen, we asked why our viewership is going down, and some of you had some ideas, and one of the things you suggested was doing a trailer reaction, but don't use the music and don't show it all in one clip, and that might help with the algorithm and not get the copyright hit. So I'm going to try it on this channel, on this show, and then see what happens. And if it works, then we'll do it on the big show. Okay. So listen, I'm back to the viewer wheel. I watched Yippee-Ki-Yay. That was the last movie. This time we go back to not the viewer wheel, but the movies that didn't make the viewer wheel. Okay. First alternate, first runner ups, we'll call it. So this week I'm doing Bulbbul. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Bulbbul. It's a 2020. I'm not going to quite say horror film because I wouldn't categorize this as a horror film, although it was pretty disturbing. It was recommended by Akshat1260. Now, I just got to prepare it. He didn't give like the best, the longest sales pitch ever. Okay. But this is what he wrote to get us to watch this film. A horror film directed by an up-and-coming indie star director with great cast and culturally rich plot. Ralph may be up for this one. I don't know why everyone talks about Ralph. Okay, John's the one doing the 10ish-minute reviews. How about maybe John might want to watch this? I'm just teasing. So that's probably why it didn't make the big wheel. But so I wanted to watch this. And once I saw that it was only an hour and a half, I really want to watch it. So yesterday, or whenever I watched this, I actually watched two movies in the same day because this was only an hour and a half. So let me tell you, first of all, this was written and directed by Anvita Dutt, who was also the lyricist on Queen, which I loved, and Ra 1 with SRK, which, it was all right. Now, as far as the cast goes, you guys always correct me on this, but I don't think I've seen any of them in anything that I can remember. But it starred Triptii Dimri, who was excellent in this, Avinash Tiawary, who I didn't know till the movie was over, played brothers. So that tells you something about his performance. Rahul Bose, Parambrata Chattopadhyay. No, Chattopadhyay. Chattopadhyay. I hope I'm getting that right. So first of all, this I would not put this in the horror genre. It was tense and it was disturbing, but in a good way. If this was a longer movie, it would have been a tough watch, but I think that's a perfect length for what they did in this movie. And it starts with just okay. So let me say this about the film. Visually, I found this movie amazing. The use of colors in this film was and Indian movies are always colorful, but this was different because they open up with they're describing the woman demon, and it's I mean it's pink or I don't know what the color is, but it looked pink to me. A pink moon, pink treetops when they're telling the story of the demon woman. And it was just visually like it was really striking. So then they show a young girl, and this is the part of it that I didn't quite understand, but she was because this movie is a lot more than about a demon. This is about child brides. This is about spousal abuse. I mean, it hits a lot of notes. You don't really discover that till the end of the movie. But it was a pretty powerful message. Now, like I said, there's a child bride, and I know she looked 8, maybe younger than that. And the two brothers, one brother is like leching on her, like overtly, like I want this girl, and the other brother, who's her husband, fends him off. So and she, I mean, the story she's got, she's got, and there's going to be spoilers here. It's 2020, so if you haven't seen the film, I don't even think the spoilers will ruin it because some of the stuff is easy to figure out. But I am going to spoil it. Okay, so she has a relationship with a young guy, and obviously she cares about him. And then it flashes forward 20 years. Now, the thing about this movie, it's non-linear storytelling. So there's a lot of flashbacks, which explain a lot of what's happening. So they show the young boy, who's now a man, Satya, in a carriage coming towards this. I don't know. It's not a castle, but it almost looks like a palace. So they're royalty. This young girl married royalty. But he's coming in this carriage, and it's like blood red, the filter they use, the way it was shot. And it reminded me, if you've seen the original Dracula with Bela Lugosi, it reminded me of that creepy carriage ride. Not the red, because obviously Dracula was black and white, but it was the same thing. It was just a weird, you could tell something ominous was going on here. So he's coming back and seeing her for the first time because you find out he was sent away to school. You also find out she loved him and he loved her, obviously. So then, while he is in the carriage, it's really creepy the way they do this. A body starts coming down. It's obviously a woman upside down because you can see her hair falling. And he's sleeping, and all of a sudden he wakes up and she's not there. So that's how it starts off. So what happens is men are getting killed and horribly killed, ripped apart. And the first kill they show is the brother that was leching after the young girl. His name was Behendra. And it's all in orange. So the colors represent, I'm sure the colors represent, I mean, the blood red I get, but it was orange. And there's blue. Some of the scenes are shot with blue. Just really striking. The other thing they did was there was a lot of fog. And again, this reminds me, if you've seen any of the Universal horror films from the 30s and 40s, they did this. I think the most effective use was in The Wolfman. But there's a lot of fog. And there's also, whenever there's light coming from the sky, you see the beams. Like when you go into heaven, you see those beams. Well, you're seeing that, but depending on the color scheme, it's pretty creepy. And the girl, the girl who plays Bulbbul, there's definitely something off about her. And you could tell because she always had this fan. And she was like kind of smirking and just doing this thing with the fan. So you knew something was off about her. You're not sure quite what, right? Because you don't know anything that's happened to her yet. And it's set in a time, I didn't know what time frame it was, period. But it wasn't modern, obviously, because they're in carriages. And so I don't know, and I don't know where it was. I've never seen any location like that either. So maybe in the comment section, let me know. So we find out more of her backstory and why she is the way she is. And one of the scenes that was just, and it's not like they even showed that much, but there was a point where the husband realizes she's in love with the son-in-law. No, not a nephew or brother. Maybe it was brother. I'm not really sure. Satya. I think he was a younger brother. So he gets sent away because the husband knows that she cares about him. And he figures it out, and they were writing a story together, Satya and Balbbul, and he finds out about this, and he grabs a fireplace poker and brings it into the bathroom while she's in the tub, yanks her out of the tub, and starts wailing on her with this thing, and goes after her feet. And it's not like they show her actually getting hit, but you could see him going up, and and all you see is her face, and the way she played it was pain, 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 pain. Then all of a sudden she's resigned to it, and she's just kind of staring. So now she's all laid up, and her feet are all mangled. They're up in these ropes hanging from the bed. And the husband leaves because he knows what he did, but he also knows that she doesn't love him. She loves Satya. So he leaves. Now the other brother comes in, Bahindra, who is the same actor, who I didn't even realize was the same actor. So that tells you, I thought, how good he was. But that scene, she's all laid up in traction, and he rapes her. And it is an awful scene to watch. And she dies. Now, something happens outside. And by the way, while this is happening, and same thing when she was getting beat, you don't hear the ambient noise of the room. I mean, of him doing this. You don't hear that. All you hear is thunder and music. It was terrifying the way they did it. It was so effective. It just made it that much more disturbing. But now all of a sudden, so she's dead. He realized he killed her. He goes with his wife, who's another nut job, and she wakes up like suddenly, like something happened to wake her up, which you figure out later on. Now, the brother's wife comes in and keeps saying the same thing over and over again. He's a little bit insane, while she's combing her hair, cleaning her up because she was a virgin. She was bleeding all over the place. Just clean her up, saying he's a little bit insane, but you have to keep quiet. She must have said that like 6 times. And now Bulbbul, who was full of life, is now just kind of like just resigned to the fact that this happened. Now a doctor who she's got a thing with comes in and realizes what happened. So what it ends up, and a few other things happen that's involved with Satya. He's trying to figure out why these men are getting killed. Well, you find out every man that was killed abused a woman in some pretty creepy ways. There was one guy who died in a tub, and there's only one witness, a young girl. Well, in a flashback scene, you find out he's in the tub with the young girl. And that's when the woman demon, or the demon woman, killed him. Another one beat his wife, broke her bones. The demon woman kills him. And obviously the brother, Bahindra, the demon kills him because of what he did to Bulbbul. And you find out that indeed, and to me, this is not a spoiler because it wasn't too tough to figure out the way she was acting and what happened to her. Bulbbul is the woman demon, but she's not a demon. She's actually a goddess. And she is literally protecting the women by killing the men in a just like a werewolf. I mean, she bites the neck and everything. So that turn, and the scene at the end where they all discover this, there's a big fire, and it's really it's amazing looking. I mean, the red, the 2 guys fighting over her to, it was incredible, just incredible. And again, very disturbing. Now I understand in Indian culture, the goddess, she gets her powers from Kali, I think, and it's something called I'm going to get the name wrong. Chandra, I think it was. That's the goddess that she was, and that's why she was in red and that one piece outfit she was wearing. So she was actually a protector and not a demon, which you find out. And then they skip a year, and now her original husband comes back to the palace, and Satya's gone. He doesn't want anything to do with the brother anymore. And you're kind of like, okay, he comes back to the place. He's sleeping in his bed, because Bulbbul got killed. What's going to happen to him? All of a sudden, he hears a voice calling his name, and wisps of red smoke start forming. Well, it forms Bulbbul again. And, he's starting to freak out, and all she does is smile a little bit. And that's where it ends. So, he's going to get his too. So, Akshat, I really like this movie. It was so creepy, but I wouldn't call it a horror movie. It's not. It's not graphic in any way that killings aren't. The performances were great. I mean, she was just, she's so full of life in the beginning, and then after everything happens to her, she's just kind of odd. And everyone, Satya, who loved her, picks up on it. But she was wonderful. And the actor that played the two roles, again, I didn't know he was the same guy. There was enough of a difference that I didn't notice it. So that tells you something about the performance. So if you have not seen this movie, check it out. It's only an hour and a half. It's a quick watch. But I think you'll really like it. Okay. So that's it. That's my 10-ish-minute review. Even though it was intense, hopefully it was intense enough to get you subscribe, hit the notification button, hit that like button. No, smash that like button, smash it, and share this with somebody. I don't know what the next film I'm going to watch is, but I'm just going to keep pumping these out if you guys keep watching. So I appreciate you guys checking this out, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.